Well, Nigel Farage announcing some very big plans for reform UK. Before I get to that though, the Conservatives have finally announced the date on which you'll see the new Tory leader in place. That's going to be the 2nd of November. So it's a pretty lengthy leadership race. I wrote about this all, by the way, over at Heathen News today in my newsletter. I'll put a link down below if you want to go and read that. But I think really you've got to remember with Nigel's return to frontline politics, it was always a multi-year commitment. And of course, the challenge for reform will be to try and overtake the Conservatives and be the main challenger to Labour, to this Labour government. And the challenge for the next Conservative leader is going to be to try and mount a Tory comeback. And if they fail to do that, then the party will be facing complete oblivion. Have the Tories learnt the lessons from the last election? I'm certainly not convinced of that when you see the likes of Suella Braverman seemingly being frozen out by Conservative MPs. So you saw the big headline in the Express today. Farage there, more Tory MPs will soon defect to reform. Nigel thanking Express readers that supported reform at the election and spoke about his new plans for democratising and professionalising the party. And away from the headlines on that front page about defections, I really think there's a lot in here that really is very interesting. You see, open potentially to the likes of Suella Braverman becoming reform MPs, and pointing out there, Nigel, that actually if other Tory MPs had had the guts of someone like Lee Anderson, then they probably would have had a much better chance of being re-elected. And Nigel talking there, potentially you could see more defections in the future to reform, but also talking about the big structure the reform needs to build, a proper targeted plan to help raise the funds to execute that sort of strategy. In Nigel's opinion there, the party reform would have won 30 to 40 seats if reform had had better procedures in place ahead of the last general election. So some very big plans there from Nigel Farage in terms of reform moving forward. And yes, only 5 reform MPs, but it is definitely a breakthrough, a start. And just consider the fact that in one election to another, the Liberal Democrats, with fewer votes under first past the post than reform got, went from 11 to 72 seats. Let me know though what you make of that plan from Nigel Farage for reform moving forward. As ever, I will keep bringing you all the latest on this and more. So please do whack this video a quick thumbs up. And of course, as ever, cheers for watching.